Homer Trojans are in uncharted territory. After knocking off the defending state champions in the sectional final, the Trojans tracked down their first state quarterfinal win last weekend, and today are in their first Final Four against a team that's made it a tradition. For the 14th time, the Penn Yan Mustangs are 2 wins away from a state championship. Penn Yan and Homer in the Class C state semifinals next. It's a perfect spring day in Cicero for the boys lacrosse New York State semifinals. Time Warner Cable Sports proud to present a triple header with 6 teams fighting for 3 spots at the state championships in Middletown this weekend. First up, the Class C semis between Penn Yan and Homer. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Cicero North Syracuse High School. Mark Larson alongside Dale Drypoultry. We've got Danny Leaka down in the field. Great to have you with us for high school state championship lacrosse. And first up, we've got the semifinal between Penn Yan, the old guard, and the new kids on the block, Homer. How much is that an advantage for Penn Yan, having been here so many times?
You know, I'm not sure anymore. You know, a lot of people think it's an advantage, but the enthusiasm of Homer is amazing. I've watched them all their games. You're right, Penn Yan's been around before, the old guard. It'll be interesting to see whether the young guys can beat the old guys. Should be a great matchup, though. All
right, let's take a look at the road to the championship, sponsored by Drivers Village. Visit driversvillage.com today. Homer taking out Salmon River on this same field in the state quarterfinals 12-8 Saturday, while Penn Yan survived a shootout with Silver Creek 14-13, scoring the game winner with less than 3 minutes to go to get to the semifinals. The winner of this game will meet the winner of Shore and Wading River and Bronxville in the Class C championship Saturday down in Middletown. Let's take a look at the Mustangs, how they set up this year. 13 seniors on this roster, Dale. They've won 15 of the last 17 Section 5 titles. Their top score, though, 103 points, not a lot of balance.
Well, you know what? That's one of the keys. If they can shut him off, can they maybe make the other team got to step up? That's the whole thing. If there's not a lot of balance, usually that's what you're looking for.
Not Penn Yan.
Yeah, they do have a lot of balance. They also like to push the ball off the face-off. If they get the face-offs, they're liable to really stretch this game out and put a lot of pressure on that defense from Penn Yan. But both teams, I think, are going to be exciting. But you're right, a little bit more balance on the Homer team.
The Trojans have not been this far in the state tournament before, but they feel like they're battle-tested, having already knocked out the defending state champs and the #1 ranked team in Cazenovia. They feel like maybe it's their turn this year. We'll find out. Semifinals start when we come back.
Time Warner Cable Sports coverage of high school lacrosse is sponsored by Drivers Village. Visit driversvillage.com today. By Alliance Bank, expect different. By Nice and Easy Grocery Shops. And by Onondaga Community College.
Number 22, Bo Riley.
Back at Cicero North Syracuse High School for the boys Upstate Lacrosse Championships. First of 3 games, the Class C showdown between Section 5 powerhouse Penn Yan and Section 3 Cinderella Homer. Today's starting lineups brought to you by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Leading scorer for the Mustangs, sophomore Bradley Boyd, 103 points on the season, 60 goals. And Ryan Mashievsky in support had the game-winning goal in the quarterfinals for the Homer Trojans. Connor Johnston, a key player, especially in the postseason. 15 face-off wins in the quarterfinal round for Johnston, who also can score. Bo Riley had 6 goals in that quarterfinal win over Salmon River. Starting goaltenders. First for Penn Yan, another Mashievsky. That's Ryan's brother, Brandon, who has been outstanding. And just a sophomore, Brandon Mashievsky came up with a huge save to help them clinch that quarterfinal win on Zed Williams, who passed Casey Powell for the all-time state scoring lead. Zed Williams, just a junior, out of Silver Creek, but Brandon Masiewski stoned him late in that game to help clinch that win. He had 18 saves, and look at that save percentage, 69%. And for the Homer Trojans, John Cottrell at 66% for the season, has come up very big in the playoffs. He's the coach's cousin, as a matter of fact, was thrown into the fire last year when the starter went down with a knee injury. And John Cottrell, all he's done is help lead Homer to its first sectional title since 1995 and a trip to the state Final Four. Penn Yan head coach is Brian Hobart, a former Penn Yan player. Still looks like he could play a little bit in his 9th season as the head coach. Hoping to help this team win another state championship. Their last and only one came in 2001 when he was an assistant coach. He played for Harry Queener and coached under Queener for a while. Harry, of course, a longtime coach there, now one of his assistants. For the Homer Trojans, head coach is Tom Cottrell, also a Homer graduate. And Cottrell, again, leading this team on a dream season, getting them over the hump, and now 2 wins away from the school's first state championship. And now down to the field, third member of our team this afternoon, Danny Liebka.
Mark, thank you. I had a chance to try to speak to both coaches. Actually, Penn Yan coach Hobart, very involved in the pregame. Typically, you see the coaches take a back seat, the assistants run the warm-ups, but he was involved. That was probably the most intense pregame warm-up I've ever seen in this sport, and I've been around the block a few times, but a lot of respect from his kids. They're definitely up. Other sideline coach Cottrell, he talked about this isn't like a typical league game. Obviously, they had to do some homework on this game, but they feel like they're prepared. Whoever handles the nerves and the pressure of this game earliest wins this lacrosse game. Take it away, Mark.
Very good. Thank you, Danny. Great to have you here, and all of you at home watching. Great to be here with you as we come to you from Cicero, North Syracuse High School yet again. Seems like we've been here every other day the last few weeks. The sectional semifinals, the sectional finals, the state quarterfinals, and now today the state semifinals, all at this great facility here. It was the Mustangs winning the opening face-off, but Homer forcing the turnover, so the Trojans get the first offensive possession.
Yeah, they faced off with a pole. Number 44, Guerreri, faced off for Penn Yan, and the ball was taken. But then, as you said, it's what you do with it after you get it. And Homer forced a turnover, and that's one of the things. Here's one of the keys right here is Johnston. He does a lot of things. He's a good shooter, great face-off guy. He really controls the game for Homer.
And here's Johnston trying to roll in from behind. Takes the first shot. It is saved by Masiewski on the bounce. Not a difficult save as Johnson was double-teamed, is still squeezed off the shot. And now the Mustangs look to clear it across midfield. That's Jimmy Burdett doing the honors. And Burdett with a big goal in that quarterfinal win last weekend when Silver Creek had pulled to within 3 goals in the third quarter. Burdett took the clear and took it all the way to the cage and scored. He's got a couple of goals and a couple assists this season from the defensive spot. There's our first score of the afternoon. It's Jordan Owen taking it to the cage. And the senior puts Penn Yan on top on its first shot of the afternoon.
Nothing too fancy, just makes a move from the midfield, gets his hands open, and he beats the left-handed goalie up high, stick side, right there. Good velocity on the shot. And just like that, Jordan Owen, the senior, who was 16-3 coming in, 19, is going to get the first goal of the game. And the first face-off went to Homer, and now they're going to get the second one cleanly this time.
That is Sean Ferrito with the ground ball on the far side of the field. It looked like the Mustangs would have it yet again, and ball checked free again as they get it back to Connor Johnston. And we remember in the sectional championship against Cazenovia, Dale, where Johnston lost 5 of the first 6 face-offs in the game, but his coach says he's a real smart kid, and he never lost his confidence. He knew he could beat the kid. He just had to figure out the timing. Then he won 11 in a row.
That's the kind of spurt you're talking about that makes things happen in these kind of games.
And now the ball checked loose from Bo Riley's stick.
Burdett, 15, he's a big dude, and he just poke-checked that ball right out of his stick, and now they're going to clear. Good ride by Homer.
They get it across the field here to Burdett as Riley gives chase. And Burdett gets it Across midfield to Dylan Yance, one of the two players they have back, as Yance puts it on net. Rebound taken right on the crease. Yance again scores! Upper 90 as Yance takes a bow. Dylan Yance, 2 goals in a span of a little more than a minute for Penn Yan, and they're out to a quick lead.
A lot of adrenaline out there for Penn Yan, and they're just doing everything right. Ball comes out, rebound, kicking out in front. Ball gets knocked out, picked up, number 29 puts it in. Dylan Yance, as that ball was poked away by a defender, he picked up the ground ball. The goalie, Cottrell, just nothing he could do. 2-0, Penn Yan.
Second leading scorer for the Mustangs. Yance, I started to say, is one of the 2 members of their last state semifinal team. You talk about a program that's been here so many times, but they only do have 2 players that have played at the Final Four before, and Yance is one of them. Another lengthy ground ball battle there, and it's again picked up by Thiesmeyer. So right now, all the 50-50 balls going Penn Yan's way. And there's another picked up by Bradley Voits, a player to watch with 103 points on the season.
And only a 10th grader, that's amazing. Usually there's an adjustment period, but they've got 8th graders on the team, so I'm sure that he's been around before, but what an amazing story as a 10th grader be leading the team and scoring with over 100 points.
Yeah, a couple 8th graders have been up with the varsity the entire season. Austin Finger and Tyler Lambert. There's one going off the post. Again, it's Owen on the run shooting. And coming that close to a 3-0 lead.
They're getting a good jump on the midfielders from the defensive middies from Homer, or the offensive middies have been forced to play defense. Now they're getting a new group on the midfielders, but they've really been able to dodge and get looks at the goal from the midfield.
Well, it's all going Penn Yan's way right now, but don't give up on Homer. Trojans spotted Casanova, a 3-0 lead in the sectional championship 1 week ago on this same field, and they came back to win that game 10-6.
One of the amazing things in that game is they used a 3-3 zone defense, and I'm wondering if they...
Looks like we've got that going on again.
Well, I just looked at it. I said it looks like maybe they're going to go back to that. They changed it. They'd never used it in the game until the Casanova game. There's a good save.
Big save made by Cottrell, as again it was Yance, lefty shot from outside. Cottrell went low for the save. And Penn Yan able to keep possession behind the cage. Take another look.
Looks like a foot save, Mark.
Whatever it takes, right? Keep it out of the cage.
That's right. I think they're back in that zone. They're trying to slow this attack down, not the attack per se. The midfield did most of the damage because they've been able to get those fast break looks off of some ground balls and things. So you get back, give your goalie a chance to take a breath and relax a little bit. So looks like they've gone back to that 3-3 zone.
And you see Voigt, center of your screen, now right center, trying to set up shop right in the middle in front of Cottrell. That zone giving him a lot of attention. Here's Yance spinning, shooting, and a little bit wide left. Dylan Yance has come to play here this afternoon, the senior second leading scorer, and an All-American last year. His father played at Penn Yan. A lot of that family type stuff going on out there in the western part of New York State. A very family-oriented traditional program. Yance again.
Oh my!
That one's off the crossbar. Ricochets to the far sideline where Voigt will trigger it in.
I'll tell you what they've done. They put a guy in back. Masiewski, not the goalie Masiewski, his brother. And what happened is he powered from behind. The defender needed help. The midfielder slid, and they kicked the ball out, and the midfielder had a good look. And they are getting some good looks at Cottrell.
You got 2 coming behind, Woody. Watch the sleeve. Side left. Hey, Woody. Woody. You through in the middle. Pressure.
Trying to feed Voigt out front. Pass knocked down. And picked up just shy of midfield by Owen.
Unsettled, great against the zone, an unsettled situation, but Penn Yan is not able to get a crease in there. They slow it down and take it on the wing and get the ball behind.
I'm talking with Coach Hobart about his Mustangs yesterday, and he said this group wasn't sure what to expect. They tried to get it inside again, picked up by Yance. And he has 13 seniors on this roster that had struggled in other sports like football and basketball, and so the confidence maybe not there. They weren't sure how they're going to react, but he said they've come in with the right attitude since day one. And this school obviously has a lot of confidence once lacrosse season rolls around with the tradition they've got. And they've really put themselves together quite a season here. Looking to return to the title game as Cottrell keeps it up, but Voigt reloads. Bradley Voigt makes it 3-0 on the rebound shot. And the Trojans again in a hole.
Taking a good shot from the wing. Look at the body save. Watch this. But bang, it's out again. It's a rebound, and just like that, Voigt picks it up. The 10th grader now 104 points as he crams that one home, and he gives his team a 3-0 lead.
Making 105 points as he's got 2 already today.
Oh, that's right. Yes, 105.
61 goals on the season, and there's Tom Cottrell looking on again. I'm sure he doesn't want his team to fall behind 3-0, but he also knows that once they shake off the butterflies and the jitters, that they can come back and dominate like they did against Casanova, the #1 team in the state and the defending state champions last week in the same field. So we'll see if they can string another comeback here. The problem is they just haven't had a whole lot of shots at this point.
I don't know officially, but it seems like about 10 shots to maybe 1.
Inside feed, backhander shot by Riley, goes high over the cage. And a nice hustle here on the near sideline by Casey Cleary to keep possession. Riley getting fancy there, or was that the only shot?
Well, I think he had a pretty good look there at backwards or behind the back. 8-3 in shots, by the way. You don't even need to tell you who's in the lead in that department. Penn Yan up 3-0.
Here's Aaron Zimmerman, the Trojans All-American. Gives it to Cleary.
You hear the goalie saying righty. So they've scouted him, and they said, you know what, this is a guy, he may go to his left, but he's going to come back to his right. True, false?
Well, he shoots it left anyway. Rebound comes out, and that shot wide, right into the stick. And how about the shot and the score by Brandon Maxson? On the third shot of that little flurry there, Maxson bounces one in as he's taken to the turf, and it's 3-1.
You got to be awake down there. When that ball's bouncing around, you never know where it's going to go. That lacrosse ball does funny things, and Maxson on the way down, you know what? He was screened. The goalie really didn't have a chance because he doesn't see. All of a sudden, Masiewski says, where'd that ball come from? He was going down. He was screened by his own defender. Not his fault. He was playing defense, and just like that, Maxson bounces it by him for goal number 1. They lose the face-off on a violation.
And Maxson, one of 6 homer players that has 23 or more goals this season, as he adds his 40th. And now out of bounds. Last touch by the Mustangs. So Homer perhaps is starting another comeback run here.
Well, on that last ball, I don't know what Penn Yan plays on. I sense if it's field turf. This surface here is the old AstroTurf, and this ball will go forever. It will roll, and we had a lot of that in the other games. Balls that might stay on a regular field with field turf, they roll on this, and a lot of people maybe a little bit trouble pacing themselves on where that ball is going to stay.
Johnson
double team
sandwiched. Riley picks up the pass. Riley to the cage. Save made by Masiewski. And now the race for the boundary won by the Mustangs.
Good hustle. Is that Carrick, number 12? A little hard to tell the numbers, but I think it's Carrick. You can see the ball bounce off the goalie, and then it's a race to the sideline, won by Carrick. And the ball goes back to his teammates.
So Riley gets an inside look. Masiewski keeps it out. And the Trojan comeback on pause, at least for now, as they get it near side of the field here to Burdette. Riley riding Burdette. Not able to knock it free. Cross midfield, gives it up to the crease. One more shot, score! Brett McMichael, the trailer. Only his 8th goal of the season. And the Mustangs have answered the homer goal with one of their own.
Best way to beat the zone. Unsettled situation. Move the ball quickly. Zone never has the time to get set up. And McMichael picks a good time to get a well-earned goal as he puts that ball down on a hop. And he gives his team a 3-goal lead again. Brett McMichael, 8-2 on the year. Gets open. Unsettled situation. Zone defense not able to fall back in time as really the key on that was getting that ball out. Burdette, 15, really started that whole thing running down the sideline. That's almost 8 minutes before Homer got a score.
Clean face-off win there for Connor Johnson. They try to feed it across to a long stick, and Alex Samakul couldn't handle it, kicks it out of bounds, so Penn Yan will get it back. Well, Johnson appears to have figured out the timing on the face-off X, but Trojans turn it over.
It looks like Homer's trying to get Burdette to handle the ball. He beat him the last time just sprinting down the sideline. Anytime you can make a big stick handle the ball, that's an advantage.
Well, they double team him. Ball comes loose, but Burdette picks it back up. Lopes across midfield, and Burdette doing a great job with the clear for Penn Yan as they set up shop again. 2.5 to go first quarter. Mustangs score the first 3 goals of the game.
Free shot here for
flag is
Penn
down.
Yan.
Flag is down as Yance splits the defense and scores. Dylan Yance, his 2nd of the game. 5 first quarter goals for Penn Yan. What a start.
Well, that was a great zone buster move. They slid to Yance. Watch, here comes the slide. He beats both guys, and they collide, and just able to go one-on-one with the goalie, and I'll take that anytime with Yance, the left-hander, putting that one in, and I think that goal was that penalty wiped out by the goal.
Yep, flag has been picked up, but the Mustangs now with a 5-1 lead. The Trojans trailing by 4 here in the first quarter. Great start for Penn Yan, and I don't know, you talk about the experience of a program being in this position before. Is that what we're seeing here? Are we seeing butterflies, or?
You know, what I think it is the speed. They've been able to shred this defense where they've gone to the zone, and they've been getting unsettled situations, and that's not the way. When they were settled in that settled defense, when they were pretty good, but in those unsettled situations, Penn Yan's really been able to get down there. I don't really think it has much to do with nerves so much as it does with Penn Yan's ability to good speed, and they got some good shooters down there.
All right, well, this is only the first of 3 games. Our middle game is the Class A state semifinal between Fairport and Ithaca, and this is a rematch of a game back in April. The only loss this year for the Little Red came against Fairport. Fairport also a team that ended Ithaca's season in the state semis 2 years ago, so a little history there. And then in the nightcap, it's Irondequoit and Jamesville DeWitt's 8 o'clock face-off in the Class B state semis right here on Time Warner Cable Sports. Downstairs to Danny Liedtke.
Hey, thanks, Mark. Spirited huddle, obviously, for Homer. Coach talking to these kids about getting out hustled, getting outworked. The goalie makes the save. The ball's on the ground. 3 orange shirts converge, and they're just standing there. So he's really talking to these kids about doing the right thing, believing what they're doing. He said, hey, Penn Yan's not doing anything that we can't handle. We just need to match their intensity level and match their hustle, and we'll be fine. Back upstairs.
All right, thank you, Danny. Talking to Coach Cottrell yesterday, he said, the difference this year and the fact that they've gone this far is that the kids have really bought into team goals more than his teams in the past. There are no individual people out there looking to pad their stats. They've really done it as a team. And so when you do it as a team and you get in situations like this, you hope they all kind of band together and keep that us against the world mentality. He also said Monday's practice was as spirited and loose as he's ever seen his team, so he really thought they were ready to play here. Let's see how they do after the timeout. Remember the sectional final, Dale, he called that timeout, and they scored, I think, 7 straight goals after that.
You're right. They were getting out hustled. That's, when you were talking about experience, they just had a lot of hustle down there. When that ball is off on a rebound, they were all over it, and they have been able to hustle on the ground balls And it's just it's been a tough situation for Homer, not winning face-offs, not getting enough offensive opportunities. And on the other hand, Penn Yan cashing in on just about every opportunity they've had.
And the Mustangs have it again. Here's Dylan Yachts, 2 goals already today. And for Yachts, 45 goals on the season now.
Here we go, White. Here we go, White. Let's go, White.
Penn Yan scored the first 3 in the last 2.
Stay with it, Drew. Don't let him read, Drew.
Late in the quarter here, going again, and a big save. Cottrell goes low. Rebound, shoveled in, score! Ryan Davison, another sophomore. His 40th goal of the season. And that one really hurts because Cottrell made a great save on the initial shot.
Yeah, Cottrell's been making the initial save, but you're right, the ball is on the ground, and orange shirts hustling for it. Number 1, Ryan Davison gets the rebound and puts it right back in, and that's the hustle right in front of that crease.
Ryan Davison and Bradley Voigt, the 2 sophomores, have been ball boys with this program way back when. Coach said he was joking with them the other day that they've been riding the bus with the Mustangs for the last 78 years. Riley off the fast break as Johnston wins another clean face-off, and Riley missed the target.
They got a jump coming off the substitutionary, but they can't take advantage of it. Homer had Casey Cleary in, had his man beat.
Oh, what a start for the Mustangs as Cleary goes lefty, and a low save made by Mashievsky. Kind of a soft lefty shot. Maybe Cleary try to challenge those guys out there who say righty every time he touches the ball. Not able to get much on it. Mustangs with under a minute to go in the quarter. Clear it to Dylan Yachts. Yachts stutter step, loses his balance and shoots it right off Cottrell. Save made as Yachts is back on his feet. And the Mustangs will keep it.
They've just been dominating, getting the ground balls, getting Homer back on their heels when they've gotten ground balls. 2 rebound shots have really helped them. The ball has been off of Cottrell. They're hard shots. He makes a nice save, but the ball goes back out, and they've been able to pound 2 back in on him off the rebound.
And on the other end, other than that one flurry of 3 Homer shots when they finally scored, it's kind of been one shot and done.
Yeah, you're right.
There's Brett McMichael now. Under 30 seconds to go. McMichael makes a move toward the cage with 15. Beat it out top. Voigt had a check free. Trojans defense collapses, takes the ball away. Here's Cleary as time runs out here in the first quarter. Now the Trojans defense finally gets a stop, but they came after giving up 6 first quarter goals. And the Section 3 Class C representatives have their hands full now, down 5 to Section 5 powerhouse Penn Yan with 1 quarter gone here in the Class C semis. (6-1) Penn Yan. The Mustangs looking to roll into the state championship game. A 5-goal lead over Homer heading to the second quarter. Trojans have been winning faceoffs, Dale, and making saves. Other than that, it's a lot of Mustangs.
They've really been out-hustled. I mean, they've been out-ground balled, and very difficult when you can't control the ground ball. And when you get the faceoffs, you get 1 shot and you're done, and then the other team clears it and puts your zone defense in trouble. And once again, they're going to get the face-off, or actually Penn Yan's going to get it. Guerreri, 44, the long stick. He was back to play defense. He's done his job. They're getting their share of controls. Sometimes homers come up with a ground ball, but he's controlled the ball pretty well with that pole.
So now they switch ends of the field, and Yachts attacking the cage to our left as he has the ball knocked free. Homer double team comes, and Anthony Contento getting involved, as he normally does defensively for the Trojans. They're going to give this one back to Penn Yan, though. Push called here.
Yeah. Put Nate in the middle.
And that was Alex Savakul, guilty of the push.
Looks like Penn Yan's spreading out this zone, make them come out and play, and it gives you big passing and shooting lanes, like right there.
And there's a shot to score. Owen on the run. Jordan Owen has his second. And it's a 7-1 Penn Yan lead.
You see the spacing they had there. They really spread them out. Now, you're going to run a zone if you just want to stand inside, but Homer's down. They got to go out and challenge these guys. When they go out, it leaves these lanes open, and you can see how much of a lane he had to take a shot. And just a nice-looking ball by Owen.
Listen up. The old net microphone, almost like a swish.
Yeah.
Basketball swish, because he hit nothing but net.
Nice audio, guys, and unfortunately for Homer, heard a lot of those swishes so far.
That's true. Johnston whiffing momentarily, but now finally the faceoff picked up by Aaron Zimmerman, his midfield partner. Quite a combination, the two captains of this Homer team getting the program into the state semifinals. Not a good start, and now they've got a tall mountain to climb here. Lots of time to do it, though. Bo Riley backs off. Sends Savakul to the sideline. Nope, calls it back.
All right.
Riley's got Thiesmeyer on him, the defender. You want to watch Riley. He had 6 in the last game.
And he had a behind the backer in the sectional final as well, so he can make that shot. Brandon Maxson also the big game in the win over Casanova.
All right.
Well, Coach Cottrell was very impressed with the Penn Yan defense and said they have a fantastic goalie, so he knows his team's in trouble here. Flags down in the field. Johnston hangs onto the ball. Now free shot. Riley saved Maciejewski. But let's see if they go one man
24.
or 2 men up.
Second time. Second shot, boys.
I'm just going to give him a hold on that. And then
Well, if you're going to get one, you might as well make it count, right? Nate Spohr.
Yeah.
Nate Spohr, one of 4 brother combinations on this family-oriented Penn Yan roster.
It was a good look at Homer's frustration there, because they took a shot when they had a free shot, threw it right in Maciejewski's stick. You got to stretch this guy. He's a good goalie. Then you know what? Make him play good. Make him defend 36 square feet.
Pass from Riley, knocked down by Penn Yan, but picked back up. Now they feed inside, and the shot goes over the crossbar. Aaron Zimmerman had the ball right in front, and that's been the other problem for Homer. Haven't been able to hit the target from in close.
No, well, that's part of that is because he got an orange jersey banging him, and as soon as he got the ball, he didn't really get a chance to set up. And now they are going to be even, and right now they're even.
Inside roll attempt by Riley gets shoved backwards by Burdette. Cleary, lefty shot, score! Casey Cleary, 3rd time he's tried that move and finally cashing in. And the Trojans are back within 5.
Trojans goal number 8, Casey Cleary, unassisted.
4:11 of the first quarter was the last time they scored, and now you're going to see Cleary in that left-handed shot. He just goes low and beats Maciejewski. Bouncer between the legs or just over the right leg as Cleary gets his team back, within, as you said, within 5. That's kind of scary when it's 9:14 left to go in the first half.
Well, they have been winning faceoffs, so if they can keep doing that and Johnston wins another.
Yeah, they had Grace out there, number 16, and right in front, open.
O'Reilly got shoved from behind and the ball came loose. Carrick gets the clear, hands off to Bradley Voigt, and so another faceoff win without a shot for Homer.
We're still changing.
The way they're winning faceoffs, Dale, they can, string together a few goals on all those possessions. this could be a different game, but got to get at least a shot off before you give it back.
Yeah, at this point, the intensity seems to be obviously in the orange and blue. They've just been able to take advantage. The shooting percentage is pretty high.
Carry to the wing.
There's Chris Castle with Casey Cleary all over it. And now Davison, the sophomore.
Good job. Take care of the ball. Good job. Use our game.
Well, it looks like they've got Homer out of the zone.
Yes, I'm just going to say, I think they've gone back to man-to-man.
There's Jordan Owen, a couple of goals already. Zimmerman bodies him up. Jans finds the open man. Low shot saved by Cottrell. And he's able to chase down the rebound and get possession back. Good job by the goalie.
You know, the thing with the zone defense is you can defend pretty well, but you don't create a lot of turnovers. When you're down by 5 goals, it's tough. Penn Yan's 8 for 8 on the clears, and they've had good luck. Homer just cleared it. They've made it clear, 1 for 1 for Homer.
Settle.
All right, so another Trojans defensive stop. A save made by Cottrell. See if they can cash it in, put together back-to-back goals for the first time today. Larry's pass knocked down. Gets it to one of his teammates. Inside feed. Masiewski keeps it out of the cage. Got a player pushed into the crease, so they'll keep possession. Here's Ferrito. Got the ball in front, and they got shoved.
Yeah, if they want to put this in the encyclopedia of pushes, that's it right there. That's a good example of one. Put a picture next to it.
They still have encyclopedias?
But yeah, I still use the World Book.
You're
Takes
the
a
one.
long time. Right?
You're the one. All right, Ferrito tried to go low on Masiewski, makes another save. Well, Brandon having a great state semifinal here. Again, made 18 saves in the state quarterfinal win.
And I'm sure he likes the fact that this is what he's seen a lot. The backs of his offensive players pushing the ball down against Homer, because the longer they've got the ball, you know, he doesn't have to worry about guys like Maxon and Johnston and the rest of the crew from Homer. So his offense has done a great job of keeping them playing defense, and he gets to relax down there in the goal.
Well, you mentioned the youth of this Penn Yan roster. Masiewski's just a sophomore. And two of the top scorers, Davison and Voigt, both sophomores as well.
Plus they have 3 8th graders on the team, which you said they've been around for a while. And
Interference, 30 seconds.
okay, so interference on number 9 from Homer. That's Brandon Wood. Thing is, you've got to let somebody cut, and you can't just hold him with the stick or hit him if he doesn't have the ball. And that's exactly what they saw. So that's going to be a 30-second interference penalty.
Man up chance for Penn Yan. Already up by 5, 5:48 to go in the first half. Class C Upstate Championships. The winner to meet the Downstate champion in the Class C title game Saturday at Middletown High School. Feed out front, just a little bit too high for Voigt. Contento picks it up, lost it out of his stick. Trojans have it momentarily, checked free a couple of times. Finally a whistle. And apparently Tom Cottrell's timing is perfect, because apparently when one of his guys had it in his stick for just a second or two, Tom called time.
Yeah, it was a good timeout, because you do not want to lose. When you're down by 5 for the first half, you don't want to lose any possessions at all. So a good time to call the timeout.
Well, we've taken you the full way here in the state tournament so far. Quarterfinals and state semifinals here at Cicero North Syracuse High School. They'll move down to Middleton Saturday, but you can still watch them right here on Time Warner Cable Sports. Live coverage begins at 10:30 a.m. Saturday, and then all 3 championship games, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 4 o'clock, are the face-off times. The only downside is it won't be Dale Drypulcher
Yeah, right.
on the call, but beyond that.
Or Mark Larson.
Well, that's true, too.
Out of the 9 goals, 2 have been assisted, and that's gives you an indication of how they've been able to push the ball up. And one of the things that I think Homer has to do is relax, let that zone defense do what it did against Cazenovia. But more importantly, they've got to get some offense. They've got to have some time of possession with the ball and score when they've turned it over, or when they've had a ground ball and it's been dominated by Penn Yan. It's a tough situation because they get a jump on that defense to get them back on their heels, and they've cashed in a number of times on unsettled situations.
Well, this is a Homer senior class that's used to being counted out, and perhaps that's to their advantage as well. As they're used to, trying to prove people wrong. And here's another situation where they are in a deep hole, and maybe not a lot of people expecting them to crawl out of it.
He's done a great job with this team.
They've gotten through Section 3. They beat Skinny Atlas several times. They beat Cazenovia, the defending state champions. So they know they can play with the best teams in the state. See if they can recover from a subpar start against Penn Yan. There's Johnston. Finally got a stick free for just a moment before a triple team comes. Cleary runs it down. Johnston attracting a lot of attention.
Well, this team slides extremely well, Mark. And when they slide, you say, well, there's somebody open. Well, they triple teamed him, and he couldn't find anybody open because they slide to his stick. They don't give you a chance to find the open man. And then if they don't get the ball, they recover very well.
I mentioned the youth on the Penn Yan roster, but defensively, it's a veteran group. Carrick's a senior. Thiesmeyer's a senior. Jimmy Burdett is a junior. So one place you don't want to be young is down low. And they've got some experience there. There's a bouncer shot high over the cage taken by Cleary. Backed up by Ferrito.
You can get a good, to go. Just gonna say, you get a good bounce off this, but that bounce was about 6 yards ahead of the goalie and went over the cage. But this surface will give you a good hard bounce. And right now they're just manning up the guy away from the ball. They're not giving him many opportunities to pass. You can see him down there just face guarding the attack man. And now here comes the slide, the ball down. Just what I said they've been able to do. That's going to be off Homer. They've been able to slide, and then Homer, geez, here comes the slide. You're supposed to find the open man, but they do it so well and so quickly. I'm very impressed with their ability to slide, play defense. They got a great package, defensive package.
Doesn't seem like the Homer kids keep losing their footing, though. I mean, how many times have I seen a Homer kid try to spin around and then fall?
I'd like to say it was the surface, but they've been here a lot. They know what to wear, and it's actually a perfect day, Mark. There's no precipitation at all.
Well, what the problem is down there. Another flag is down as Penn Yan keeps possession.
Yeah, they're man off. They got an extra man down there.
Well, that's one way to try to slow him down.
Sure.
7 guys playing defense.
2-old 6-on-7.
Jake Gray heading toward the penalty area.
Great take! Great take! Arrow! First time, arrow!
Now he's heading toward the sideline. Looks like maybe Ferrito will serve this penalty.
Gotta make a play!
So another man-up chance for Penn Yan. Did not score in their last opportunity. Scored 6 times in the first quarter.
Rotate! Rotate!
You hear him saying rotate. Nice
shot by Yantz. Whistles over the top crossbar. Yantz, a couple of goals in the game already. Jordan Owen also with 2 for the Mustangs.
We talked maybe they didn't have as much balance, but obviously that's not true.
Yeah, they do have, 3-4 guys with 60, 70 points, but the one that just stands out is Voigt in 105, 106 now.
I'm impressed with the way Yantz has played and the way he has handled the ball. Another save.
Saved by
Another
Cottrell.
rebound.
Rebound picked up.
Another shot.
Save by Cottrell. And this time the rebound snatched out of the air by Anthony Contento. One of the co-captains going to play for RIT next year. Contento takes it to the cage and shoots it wide left. Bo Riley gets the backup with 2:08 to go. Nice job by the defensive leader for Homer.
Yeah, Contento did a pretty good job of getting down there, getting a decent shot off. And Riley did a nice job of backing it up. They don't want to go one and done again, one shot and done. Well, Riley gets the backup, and Homer would like to get another goal, obviously, here.
Well, the Trojans survive, another man down.
Well, see how they get that ball down there in the passing lane, put the ball back on the carpet?
Chris Brown had picked it up. Now he lost to Dylan Yantz with it.
Or that caused that turnover. Nice job by number 15. Tough defender for Penn Yan, only a junior.
So now Penn Yan back with it. Final minute and a half of the first half. It's been all Mustangs. Mashievsky setting up behind the Homer cage.
14 here, to me. 14.
I guess they call him Mace with a name like Mashievsky. I guess that would be as good a nickname as any.
That's the easy way out. I refuse.
Where you're going?
There's Corey Grace looking to dodge his way to the cage. Instead, they feed far side.
Oh, nice check.
Great check. Knocked out of there by Cleary as Yantz made a move to the cage, lost the ball and the stick.
Ooh.
But they're going to whistle this one back to Penn Yan.
Goalie in and out. Got the ball, went out, had his foot out of the crease, then went back in the crease. You can't enter the crease with the ball after you've gone out.
We said this last week, Dad, but there's so many lines down there.
I know, you're right.
Bonus possession for Penn Yan. Final minute now of the half.
The pink line's your line.
I mean,
the yellow line is the volleyball line. And the,
timeout Mustangs. Brian Hobart, he and his assistant with distinctive haircuts for the state semifinal. The other assistant apparently not participating, or at least he hasn't taken his hat off yet. And his other assistant is Harry Queener. They're wearing the cap right there. And if that name sounds familiar, remember Brett Queener?
Sure.
Played for University of Albany. And his brother Bryce as well. Well, Harry's their pops and longtime head coach there at Penn Yan. He then was the girls' assistant while his wife was the girls' head coach and his daughter was on the team. So he left the boys' team in charge of Brian Hobart. And then after his daughter's career was over, came back and now is Brian Hobart's assistant. So they've kind of switched roles. Hobart played for Queener, played on their first state tournament team back in 1987. And boy, they have kept this thing going, haven't they, for remarkable consistency. And I'm always amazed in high school when a program like Penn Yan or West Genesee or Janesville to Wick can put together, you know, a couple of decades worth of Final Four appearances.
Remember Brett Queener, one of the things I was impressed with Albany, when they got man up, he gave up his goalie stick, he came in and played on the man up team. He had a great shot.
Yeah, he was something.
He was also down there all the time anyway as a goalie. He was.
Yeah. He was. And
it was not unfamiliar territory.
He's worked a lot with Brandon Mashievsky, who's been varsity since the 8th grade. And Coach Hobart says Mashievsky reminds him a lot of Queener at that age, but he's not quite as adventurous, is the way he put it.
I guess that's good news, bad news, right?
I'm sure you don't mind that, but if I remember right, Queener also wore 23, the same number as Brandon Mashievsky.
I will bow to your memory, sir.
Until you prove me wrong, that's exactly the number he wore. All right, final 20 seconds of the first half. It's been all Mustangs, 6-1 after 1. Each team has scored once here in the second quarter. Yantz can't get free. Finally puts the shot just over the crossbar. Cottrell may have gotten a piece. And now we're down to 4 seconds.
Still a lot of time. Well, not a lot, but time enough to score.
Ryan Mashievsky sends it in front, and the one-timer is just high off the stick of Ryan Davison. Well, they got a pretty good look.
Yes.
With 4 seconds left. Penn Yan will settle for a 7-2 halftime lead. Now 2 quarters away from their first state championship game since 2004 as The Mustangs huddle around their head coach, and the Trojans figure out a way to try and stage a comeback in the second half. 5-goal lead halfway through the Class C state semifinal.
Time.
Welcome back to the Alliance Bank halftime show. Alliance Bank, expect different. Penn Yan on top of Homer by the score of 7-2 at halftime from Cicero North Syracuse High School, the Michael Bragman Athletic Complex. Joined here at halftime, Todd Nelson, the assistant director from the New York State Public High School Athletic Association. New legislation about to take effect in regards to concussion. Can you give us a briefing on that?
Sure. That's going to go into effect July 1 for all of public schools in New York State. And basically, it's a law that will focus in on concussion awareness and concussion education for all the public schools in New York State.
It's amazing how far we've come in regards to that particular injury. Tell us a bit about what that means at the school level as far as out in the middle of a game if a kid gets injured, some of the procedures they need to follow.
Some of the procedures are outlined in the law is that they will have to remove that student from participation, and if he's suspected of having a concussion, then he will not be able to enter that game until he's been cleared by an appropriate healthcare professional, a school physician.
Now, as far as your organization, you've done some great things. Obviously, the athlete is the most important, his health, but you've also went beyond the school. Now it's into the families and the parents. Can you tell us about the awareness campaign there?
Yeah, part of the law requires school districts now to offer some type of information to the school or to the parents of any students that are going to participate, and we're going to help them on that by developing a pamphlet that outlines the topic of concussion management.
Are you really surprised to see how far along this has progressed in a quick manner?
No, not really. Our association has been doing this for 6 years, and about a third of our member schools already have a concussion management policy in place in their districts. So it's kind of like the seatbelt law. Seatbelts have been in cars since the 1950s, but until the government said you had to wear them, then it forced people to take action.
Well, great job on being proactive. Always great to see you. I'm sure we'll see you throughout the day. Busy guy.
Thank you very much.
Todd Nelson from the New York State Public High School Athletic Association. He's the assistant director. We'll talk to him much more during the day. You're watching Boys High School Lacrosse on Time Warner Cable Sports.
Warner Cable Sports coverage of high school lacrosse is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By the Post Standard. For home delivery, call 470-NEWS. By Alliance Bank, expect different. And by Price Chopper.
Back at Cicero, halftime of the Class C state semifinals. The Penn Yan Mustangs with a 7-2 lead over the Homer Trojans. We'll take a look at the highlights. And 7 of those 9 first-half goals scored in the first quarter. The first 3 goals scored by Penn Yan, Dale, and a couple of them off rebounds.
You saw the ground ball there. They were just all over this. They really did a great job of hustling. And it was just like an assault. It was a blitzkrieg. Homer just really did not know what to do. They got back in that 3-3 zone, but they beat them down. Then Homer came back, finally got one. Maxson put one in. Looked like they might make one of those patented comebacks, but it's not over yet. But a guy like Burdett did a great job of clearing against that zone defense. And when they pushed it, they had this kind of passing. And I'll tell you, right there, the ball was down and in.
Great passing on the fast break. Brett McMichael finishes there. Then Dylan Yance splits a double team, makes it 5-1. Then another rebound goal here. Davison shovels it in, almost a no-look goal. 6-1 after 1 quarter. Jordan Owens scores first and the second to make it 7-1 Penn Yan. The Trojans get one back. Casey Cleary on the move, but then nobody scored the last, was it 9 minutes of the quarter?
Just about. So it's slowed down considerably. I think that's the,
yep.
I was going to say that's the Homer's liking, because the pace early was just really dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, on the right side, they haven't given up any goals in the last 9-14, but on the downside, they haven't scored any either. So, first half numbers, the ground ball's pretty even, turnovers even.
One thing on the ground balls, in the first quarter, it was 11-4 in favor of Penn Yan. Gives you an idea of why that first quarter went the way it did, but it's pretty even now, as you said, 15-14.
And faceoffs 7-5, but Homer, I think, won maybe 4 or 5 of the last 6 at least. So if they can keep that going, give themselves possession in the third quarter, at least they'll have a chance to start chipping away at that 5-goal deficit. Both goalies with 5 saves in the first half, so that's even Steven as we get set for the third quarter here in Cicero. Homer Trojans ready to go. Spent the entire half playing catch as they did in the sectional final last Wednesday. Can they stage another comeback? Long way to go against the Mustangs. Lots of time to do it. Come on back.
Time Warner Cable Sports coverage of high school lacrosse is sponsored by the Carbone Auto Group, a name you know and you know you can trust. By Onondaga Community College. And by the UPS stores of Central New York. With 12 locations throughout Central New York, there's a UPS store near your neighborhood.
Penn Yan Mustangs have not made it to the state championship game in 8 years, believe it or not. 2004, their last championship appearance, a 13-5 loss to Manhasset. They are 2 quarters away from a return as we get set for the third quarter Class C state semifinals. Mustangs scored the first 3 goals. Then after a homer score, they scored 4 in a row to take a 7-1 lead. Trojans have a long way to come back here, but we're able to at least stop the bleeding defensively. Only gave up 1 goal in that second quarter as Connor Johnston resumes his spot at the X.
And they got Brandon Grace out there, Mark. Just going to notice they started with Guerreri, number 44, the pole. Now they put a short stick out there at the face.
Trojans winning 7 of 12 face-offs in the first half, including several in a row there in the first and second quarters. Here's another one as Johnston scoops it back to his midfield mate, Andrew Zimmerman. And Homer in possession to start the second half. Trojans' first ever state semifinal appearance. And Coach Cottrell told me yesterday that he was a little bit afraid after they won the sectional championship over Casanova that maybe his team would be satisfied with that. Would maybe relax a little bit. But played very well in the state quarterfinals as Brandon Maxon misses the target in front. Now let's see how much desire they have here in the second half to try and make it to their first state title game. Bo Riley's been shut out.
Burdette just, he is a moose out there. He's done a nice job clearing and a nice job playing defense.
Riley 6 goals in the state quarterfinals. No points so far here in the semis. Maxon, good size, inside score. Maxon to Sean Ferrito.
Nice look. That was a great look. I'm surprised Ferrito could maintain in there because they just collapsed on him. He is on the crease. He is just waiting for the ball. There's Maxon. Actually, Maxon got pushed from the back, but Ferrito, nice job of keeping his stick free. There's the push, and Ferrito, they try to back him. The man who's guarding him is in back of him. That's not a good position to be in, and you can see that Ferrito, when he got the ball, was able to control the stick, muscle his back out, push him out, so the man in back of him couldn't reach his stick and just quick sticked it in for goal number 3.
So a couple of juniors connecting there, Maxon to Ferrito.
And they're going to lose the faceoff as they had Guerreri out there again, 44, the pole, and now they get the ball back. Penn Yan does.
Well, back-to-back goals scored by Homer. The problem is there were 10 minutes in between those 2 goals. But now it is 7-3, a minute and change into the second half.
Outside the box.
Let's see how the Trojans adjust defensively. Collapsing on Owen, who scored twice in that first half.
And look at all those gray shirts there. Now they've spread out a little bit defensively.
Contento on Mashievsky behind.
Because Penn Yan spread them out. That's what they did the last time. It looks like they've gone back to that man-to-man defense. Quick slide.
Owen tries to sweep. Zimmerman stays with him. And gets some help from Savakul. Now the ball knocked free on the far side. And Chris Brown picks up the ground ball. To midfield, Savakul picks it up on a couple bounces. Now he's doubled. Ball flipped over his head. Zimmerman there. Riley had a shot at it. Now Zimmerman comes back for the ground ball and
failure to advance.
Yep. Just a second too much time as Homer threw it into the attacking box there, but just a fraction too late.
You got 10 seconds after you cross the midfield line to get it in the box. 20 seconds to get it over midfield. And they had it across midfield. They couldn't get in the attacks box. And here they bring Burdett down again, and he's able to, well.
This pass gets away.
Yes, it does, and it's going to be a turnover.
Picked up at midfield. That's Brown again. And now unsettled. Maxson with it, looking in front. Riley scores! Bo Riley, his first of the day. 4 goals from 4 different players for the Trojans. And 3 in a row here, and they've cut it to 3.
They got to feel good about themselves. Maxson does a nice job backing his way in, then he hits Riley, cutting across, and Riley cashes in. Bo Riley had 6
Trojan goal,
in the previous playoff game. Gets his first today.
Assist number 33.
I've talked a lot about the Homer seniors, and for good reason. Zimmerman, Contento, and Johnston, but this junior class for Homer, which includes Maxson, Ferrito, and Bo Riley. A pretty strong group coming back, and the goaltender also just a junior this year, Cottrell. Another possession for the Trojans and a chance to close within 2. But Brandon Maxson's really been the impetus here for this comeback. A couple of nice assists here in the 3rd quarter. Zimmerman forced to back it out. Now takes a run at a sweep. Not able to get there. In front, Riley lost it. Ferrito fed him in front. And now the ball picked up by Mashievsky.
A little bit of the resurgence here. It's 7-2 in ground balls in favor of Homer this quarter. They just got their second. Penn Yan just got their second. So that's what's one of the things that Homer's been able to do. Dominate the ground balls.
Great clearing pass. Now Jans tried to shoot right-handed. Ball came loose. And Cottrell picks it up right in front of the net. Now his clearing pass to midfield. Wide open, Ferrito. Ferrito. Going to take it behind. Rolls back in front. Not able to escape Thiesmeyer. But the Trojans back in possession. Down 3 after scoring the first 2 goals of this second half.
Thiesmeyer, Burdett, and Guerreri, the defenders, right out there now for Penn Yan. Oh, bad pass.
Thiesmeyer knocks down the pass. Battle for the ground ball. A push called against Penn Yan, so Homer will keep it.
That's when you got to feel things maybe are going your way. You're within 3. If you can get it within 2, obviously they're going to be a lot more confident in their game if they can get back in this to within 2.
Johnston's been quiet offensively. Zimmerman too. Oh, that one saved and then off the crossbar and out. And Mashievsky picks it up. Zimmerman very close to making it a 2-goal game. Now the long stick shoots. And it's saved by Cottrell. He tried to jump out of the cage and get it back.
Shot out of bounds.
Take a look at how close Andrew Zimmerman came.
Watch this ball in the top of the cage. Down, up, off the stick, and right off the crossbar.
And it was Kevin Carrick, who has no goals but 4 assists this year, taking the shot with the long pole for Penn Yan. Now the Mustangs look to settle things down a bit. Their 6-goal lead has been cut in half by Homer.
Behind you, Ed. Behind you, Woody.
Back in the zone defense, Homer's got that 3-3 look with a pole out on top. 1 pole out on top, 3 underneath.
Penn Yan had a 4-goal lead in the state quarterfinals. And then Silver Creek came all the way back to tie things up. 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Good save.
Big save, Cottrell. Chris Castle with a shot on the run for the Mustangs. Cottrell has settled down. The Homer defense has definitely gotten back on solid footing. And now the offense starting to find its rhythm.
That's still a shot.
Shot saved by Mashievsky. Trojans will keep possession here. 7-4, 5:10 to go third quarter. First of 3 games, and all 3 are Section 5 versus Section 3. I should say 2 of the 3. The middle game will be 5 versus 4, the Ithaca Little Red. Section 5 sweeping out in Buffalo in the quarterfinals last week. Riley draws the double. Knocked loose by Burdett. Riley picks it back up.
Got a ward.
A warding call against Bo Riley. So the Trojans, another chance. What is that? 3 chances now to close within 2. And they've not been able to get that goal.
You only get so many, and they got to now rely on this zone defense again. They're getting better play from the midfield. They're really avoiding those unsettled situations and forcing Penn Yan to play settled offense, which is to their advantage in this zone.
Good job by Castle getting out of trouble there, and now the Penn Yan offense sets back up. Last Penn Yan goal came with 10+ minutes left in the second quarter. 11:18 left in the second. All right, so do some quick math here. So it's been at least, 18 minutes since they've scored? There's a shot. Another save made by Cottrell. The rebound picked up by his guy for once. Anthony Contento gets it back to Cottrell.
He's got 4 seconds to get out of there, and Cottrell did. But clear, they get a nice long stick up the middle now. You don't want to hold on to that ball too long. The way they jump you, you got to get it to a shorty, and they managed to do that as he goes back. Christopher goes back onside.
So, opportunity number 4 to close within 2 of the Mustangs. 3:15 and counting here in the third quarter.
Zimmerman, one of the co-captains, coming in.
Shot, score! Chris Brown, bouncer shot from about 10 yards out. A perfect bouncer into the top corner. So it's 4 straight goals scored by the Trojans. They're within 2.
Chris Brown coming in, not a prolific scorer at 10 goals and 2 assists. He knows what to do with this one. It's in and out as he got Mashievsky to go down, and the ball bounced up over him when he went down.
Assist number 8, Casey Cleary.
So Casey Cleary picks up the assist. And another face-off win. Can Zimmerman catch up to it? Shovels it inbounds, and Maxson picks it up. No, he didn't. And now Maxson picks it up right on the end line. Up to Johnston. And now a chance to make it a 1-goal game. Johnston tries to sweep Thiesmeyer, cut him off.
Now what they want to do is get Sovacool out of there with the big stick. Hard to work that ball around on the outside when one of the guys has a pole, and they get him out. Nice job, though, and they're going to get Cleary in, who's really stepped his game up in this second half.
And it has now been 21 minutes. 20 minutes. 21, somewhere around there, since Penn Yan has scored a goal.
Want me to do that arithmetic for you?
You know, the seconds, it's not as easy.
I know.
You only got 60 of them. It's confusing.
Let's put it this way. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's a long while. Quarter and a half. And, you know, credit John Cottrell for a lot of that. He's made a lot of big saves.
Yes.
And his team has also been able to sweep away the rebounds, unlike early on. Zimmerman gets a step, shoots, and scores!
Again, everybody's got a different guy who scored, right? I think that's the 6th guy to score.
That's what I got.
3, 4, 5, 6, yes. Yep. So 6 different guys have scored. That was a nice one. That was a pretty goal on the run. Aaron Zimmerman, one of the captains, he gets off that nice left-handed shot, and that's going to be a Penn Yan timeout.
So Aaron Zimmerman, the All-American from Homer, keeps the comeback going. A 5-goal run for the Trojans going back to the second quarter. They've scored all 4 here in the third.
Get a look at that. Look how free he is. And the goalie pretty well screened, not only by his own man, Burdett, but also Maxon in there. And with the velocity of that shot, by the time he saw it, he couldn't react quickly enough to save it. And it's now 7-6.
And we talked about balance in the open, and you can't be more balanced than the Trojans right now. 6 goals from 6 different players. All right, so this game has become nice and close, just like we like it. And coming up next, we hope for another nail-biter in the Class A state semifinals between Fairport out of Section 5 and the Ithaca Little Red, Section 4 champs for the 4th straight year. That one's coming up next on Time Warner Cable Sports. Now, remember when I said when Coach Cottrell called timeout, and it was 7-1, and after that, timeout in the sectional final, they scored 7 in a row. Well, they've scored 5 straight. So maybe he needs to hold a timeout right before the game starts.
Well, they did get off to a slow start. Let's credit Penn Yan with a fast start. But now that they've settled down, this has become quite the game, and it's right out here at the X with Johnson out there and Guerreri, 44 with the pole. Let's see what
Guerreri took the opening face-offs out there. Let's see if he does any better. And
got
sure
this
enough,
one.
Sucks it right up.
Oh, well. Yes, he did.
Yeah, the Mustangs still in possession for the moment. But they did advance into the box in time.
10 seconds. They got control of that ball out at the midfield. Now, they did a great job of defending him. They didn't strip the ball, but they caused the turnover by, there's a flag down.
That was Nate Spohr, who was not able to get past the Homer defenders.
Hey, man up, let's go!
See what the flag's all about.
He must have thrown the ball maybe after the, you're supposed to put the ball right down.
Nate probably a little frustrated. That whole Penn Yan sideline, perhaps, as he takes a knee in the penalty area. And Homer will have it at midfield. And a man up. So what an opportunity for the Trojans to tie this one up. After trailing by 6 in the second quarter and by 5 at halftime. And the Mustangs have to be feeling like, here we go again.
Homer 0 for 2 here on the man up.
Oh, they try to feed in front. Burdett picked it off. He's got some height, and he's got a 6-foot pole, but what a check by Riley. Riley rides, gets it back. Cleary shoots, and it's off of the Penn Yan defender and out of bounds behind.
Man, that was quite a segment right there. He did such a great job of getting that ball, knocking the pass down Burdett, and then he got a check from behind. He got back checked. The ball went out, and Homer gets possession. Now, they don't get anything out of the penalty, but they do maintain possession.
Tremendous ride by Riley. Diving to knock that out of the stick, and now Maxon has the ball stripped, but Cleary picks it up to keep possession. 40 seconds left in the quarter. On the run, Cleary shoots, and it's saved by Mashievsky. But Fredo picks it up behind. And here's another difference, Dale, from the first half. It was one and done for Homer. Now they're getting multiple looks on the same possession. Connor Johnston has yet to score. 6 of his teammates have goals. Casey Cleary, one of them. Johnston lost it. Cleary picks it up. Under 10 seconds. They've got to hurry. Riley, does he know? Spins. Lost the ball. Burdett again.
In the crease.
And he
played it with his hand.
Played it with his hand, so they turn it over with 1.3 seconds left. Never got a shot. on that long possession. They never got one past anyway, and they throw it the length of the field to end the quarter. A dismal quarter for the Mustangs, and the comeback continues for the Trojans. We'll go to the fourth quarter. A one-goal game. The winner moves into the state championship game Saturday in Middletown. Anyone's game here at Cicero. Downstairs to Danny Liedtke.
Hey, thanks, Mark. Just listening on the Homer Huddle, very upbeat as you could imagine. Coach said, hey, that was a fantastic third quarter. It's put us in a great position. However, we need another third quarter here in the fourth if we're going to win this game. He said, guess what, guys? The nerves have shifted to the other sideline. Let's capitalize, play our game, and continue this pressure, and we should be just fine. Mark?
All right, Danny, it goes back to what I was saying, that, there's no pressure on Homer. They've been counted out all year long, and really, as long as Homer Lacrosse has been around, other than the one sectional title in 1995 in Class B, Homer just hasn't been here. So for them to be down 6, it's like, nobody expected us to win this anyway, so let's just go out and play.
And, they have held Penn Yan 23-18, 23 minutes and 18 seconds since Penn Yan has found the net open, and that shows a lot of resolve on this team, but they just going to give up this face-off on a violation, as Johnston did. He's played a whale of a game, but he jumped there. One of the things that, now there's an unforced error. So Penn Yan creates that. And just checking, ground balls in that quarter was like 14-3 that they got out ground balled, Penn Yan did, by Homer.
Well, Dan was talking about maybe the nerves are on the other sideline, and that was Colby Treat, who hasn't played a lot. Came in and took the ball from midfield and just threw it over Ryan Davison's head. So everything tightens up here in the fourth quarter of the state semifinals. That's Austin Recor, outstanding football player for Homer. Brings it across midfield. And the Trojans another chance to tie it up after trailing by 6. Very thankful that Joe Insel did the math on that shutout streak between quarters, because you and I were struggling. Cleary on the run. Mashievsky goes low. Burdette being chased.
Pretty good wheels for a big guy.
Burdette's going to take the shot, and it's saved by Cottrell. Pretty good shot from Burdette. He scored a big goal for Penn Yan in the quarterfinals, but he gets denied there. And Homer, though, steps on the sideline trying to get the ball out, and the Mustangs will have it.
I believe Burdette scored in the other game, right?
He did, yep. Yep, big one for him. And still, despite his goal, Silver Creek was able to come back and tie the game with 3 minutes left. The Mustangs eventually prevailed. They scored the game winner 30 seconds after that to win by 1. And a similar situation perhaps developing here in Cicero. So Penn Yan's got the confidence that, despite giving up a lead, they can pull out a game in the final minutes. Homer's got all the momentum right now, though.
Pick. Nice pick.
Davison around front. Ball is loose and picked up quickly by Chris Castle.
It's dangerous when you see that ball down there and you rush out to get it. If you get caught out of position, you get a fast break opportunity to the other team. There's
Mashievsky got a step and scores, and the shutout streak is over. More than 2 quarters without a goal for the Mustangs. Finally, Mashievsky makes it an 8-6 game.
And that's 1, 2, 3. That's a 7th guy, I think, that scored for the Mustangs. And Mashievsky just right from behind. Great job. No slide. Slide comes late. He just powers from behind, makes himself some room, gets that nice left-hand shot off.
He's the guy that scored the game-winning goal last Saturday in the state quarterfinals. Lengthy battle for this face-off. Johnston. They want to say he was pushed down, and yes, he was, so Homer will keep it.
Just reach out. 6 different guys have scored for Penn Yan.
Yep, they've got 2 guys with 2, Yantz and Owen.
Yep.
Each have 2. So now the Trojans down 2 after their 5-goal run was broken up by Masiewski. Zimmerman, a laser saved by the other Masiewski brother, Brandon. And now Carrick gets it across midfield with Johnston in pursuit. His stick trips Carrick, and that draws the flag.
That'll be 1 minute on a trip.
And now a chance for Penn Yan to build a little cushion here with 9:31 to go.
Well, obviously, it seems that 4 isn't enough. It's just they have to keep going, although time is becoming somewhat problematic. A lot of time left, but if Penn Yan scores on this and gets it back up to 3, that would be a big momentum shift.
Tom Cottrell, Homer, class of 84. So probably a big lover boy, Bryan Adams fan, like I was. Little Van Halen 1, perhaps.
I think that's exactly when I stopped listening to music.
That's when it was just getting good, man. That's right. Don't stop believing. There you go. A little Journey. Hey, the good thing about those bands is now you can see them for a lot cheaper because they come to the State Fair, and sometimes they're even at Chevy Court.
Yep,
so they're free.
Yep, they're all taking Geritol.
Yeah. Well, we had 38 special at the Taste of Syracuse this past weekend.
Yep.
So you used to have to pay, what, 30, 40, 50 bucks to go see him play.
Nice rock.
And the 8th grader can't come up with it. Masiewski shoots, but Cottrell closes the door. And now he was also in the crease, Masiewski, so give it back to Homer. They tried to feed the 8th grader, Sean Emerson. He was not able to come up with a pass right in front. Cottrell, a great job of getting across the cage to shut it down. So another empty man up for Penn Yan. And now Homer again. Looking to keep closing the gap here. They scored 5 of the last 6 goals of this game. Brandon Maxson, a big spark. Couple assists to start the second half.
A little isolation behind the cage with Maxson.
He's got Shane Bloom trying to check him. Spins away. Burdette comes over to help and knocks it free. Burdette kicks it toward the back line, the end line there, and not able to catch up to it. Mike Thiesmeyer, the valedictorian for Penn Yan and a future Brown Bear, could not get the ground ball, so Homer has it back. 8 minutes and counting.
Homer was fortunate on that, Mark. They got stripped and the ball went back. They lost it once, and then Thiesmeyer knocked it out.
Burrito with Thiesmeyer shadowing. Trying to get somebody in front. Bo Riley comes back to get it with Burdette watching carefully. It seems like Burdette's on everybody, doesn't it?
They're always looking for number 15. If people need help, he's a slider. Now, do we run a pick off the back, or do I try to beat him one-on-one while we're putting new people in? So this is an orange call, or yellow, which means wait till we get the people in before you run this play.
Get him out of there, go!
Connor Johnston comes in.
They set something up from the bench. They said this is where they want whose hands they want the ball in. It's Johnston. To set things up.
Senior co-captains, he and Aaron Zimmerman rather, been playing together since they were kids. In front, Zimmerman denied. A kick save made by Masiewski. Picked up by Dan Guerreri.
Oh, he just took a trip through the crease. They missed it.
Guerreri went through the crease. Not called, but they turn it over. Bloom couldn't come up with a pass. Now fast break, score! Sean Ferrito. And it's back to a 1-goal game with 6:38 left.
I guess they'll forgive that going through the crease. I'll take a bad pass and a free pass to the goal instead. There's the passing attempt, and then there's the ground ball picked up by Ferrito. And I like the way, watch what Ferrito does. He doesn't stop. He shoots on the run, little sidearm, and Masiewski fooled on that one.
His second of the second half. He scored the first one in the second half to cut it to 4. Now he scored again to cut it to 1 with 6:38 to go. Key face-off here. And Guerreri wins it with the long pole for Penn Yan. Gets it to Yantz. And now far side of the field to Nate Spohr. And the Mustangs will try and take some time off that clock. A 7-1 Penn Yan lead at one point, and a 6-1 Homer run since then. Approaching the midway point of the fourth quarter. Winner moves on to the state championship to face either Shoreham-Wading River or Bronxville Saturday in Middletown.
Just got word there that Shoreham-Wading River's up 11-1.
I guess it'll be them. Pass picked off. Casey Cleary with it. Another high pass goes awry, and now Cleary is going to slow this down and wait for a little more offensive support as the Trojans again in position to score the tying goal. Zimmerman makes a run at it. Lost the ball. Great help defensively. Was that Burdett again?
I think so, yes.
Just when you think he's on the other side of the cage,
he appears.
He's been everywhere.
Ooh, tough for that pole to handle that, but he does. Nice job by Guerreri.
And a big possession again for Penn Yan. Up one, 5 minutes left in the state semifinals.
You know, you'd think Homer would say, could we have that first quarter back again? Maybe we could play a little bit faster, a little bit sooner.
Yeah, it was 6-1 Penn Yan after the first quarter. It's been a 6-1, 6-2 rather, Homer since then.
Yeah, you can't just win quarters or halves. You have to win the whole game. And right now it's anybody's game, 8-7. Penn Yan taking their time, spreading them out. You can see how they're spreading them out. Good spacing, give them some dodging from the midfield.
And they'll continue to do so until they're told to keep it in. Spin move, Owen. Bounce pass out front, handle. Now Yantz goes behind Mashievsky, gets a step. Nobody there. Yantz lefty shot, missed the target. But Penn Yan will keep it. Bradley Voigt, the sophomore over there for the backup. 4:02 left.
Yantz had the second and fifth goals, but been a little quiet since then. Got a good look there. Hard shot, but not really on cage. And however, it is possession retained by Penn Yan.
Don't let him switch.
Corey Grace jogging some time off that clock.
Well, he'd like to take the short stick behind. That's what they want to do. They want to get a little invert here and get a short stick behind, trying to play defense on a short stick. That's advantage to Penn Yan. 4 guys stacked on top of the middle as they just killing time right now. Oh,
Grace feeds middle. Yantz shoots, scores! Dylan Yantz has a hat trick, and with 3:21 left, the Mustangs again lead by 2.
That was a nice setup because you can see how open Yantz was at the end of that formation. As he drives and they slide over, look, Yantz right there. He backed up out of that zone, and a nice job of firing from the outside. Dylan Yantz, as you said, a hat trick today, and now Trojans got the work cut out for him.
46 goals on the year for Yantz. Key face-off again with 3:21 left. Johnston won the face-off, tried to sweep it to himself, but he swept it out of bounds.
That's a big play right there.
Connor Johnston, who won 15 face-offs in the quarterfinals, has been a little frustrated today. He won that one, just couldn't get it to himself.
And you wonder how much time in 3:14, how much time Penn Yan can take off this clock. And they can't, they're going to have to go out and play on these guys. They got to get the ball back. So. So you're going to see some tighter man-to-man defense and early slides. Try to get that ball back.
Mashievsky feints a shot. Here's Jake Gray playing Corey Grace. Now Contento comes over to try and
switch
pursue.
Yeah, they had a short stick on him. They want Contento on him.
Yance with Sabakul all over him. To Grace. 2.5 to go in 30 seconds. They'll be told to keep it in the box, and now they already have been. So, 2:23 left. Stall warning in effect. Penn Yan up by 2. Twice the Trojans have been within 1 and have not been able to tie it up. Grace feeds in front. Backhanded shot. Score! Oh, what a clincher for Bradley Voigt, the sophomore, with 2:10 left. His second goal of the game, a beautiful behind the backer.
Nice look. Grace finds Voigt in front. Voigt fades to his left and brings the ball back around on a backhand shot. And Bradley Voigt, probably one of the most important goals. He had the second of the day. Check that, the third of the day and the 10th.
And now clean face-off win for Johnston. 2 minutes, down by 3. Johnston underhand worm burner, saved by Mashievsky. Thiesmeyer picks it up but lost it, and now he takes down Maxson. And that'll be a man-up opportunity for the Trojans. As
now they're going to give him 30.
Thiesmeyer, no argument, just heads right to the penalty area. So 1:54 left. Trojans trailing by 3, but there'll be a man up. Oh, what a goal by Brad Voigt. How about the sophomore with the confidence? Oh, in front, quick stick goal, Johnston. Oh, that was a quick one from Zimmerman. 7 seconds into the man up. A big goal there to cut it back to 2 as Johnston gets his first of the day.
Nice look, pass right through, and that's just a shovel. That's just a quick stick. Nice job on the assist from Zimmerman. But Johnston, he brings them back within 2. They're not done yet, especially when you face off. Johnson takes this one right away from Guerreri cleanly.
Another clean win. Here they come. Big shot. Stick deflected by Carrick. Bo Riley bidding for the 9th goal. Sends it wide of the cage after the deflection, and now timeout called by Tom Cottrell.
Timeout Trojan.
So 1:38 to go. Homer with the ball and down by 2 as they have battled back from at one point down by 6. Twice have cut it to 1, trying to do the same here. And the way they're winning faceoffs, Dale, if they can get another goal here in the next minute, they still have a great chance.
You know, they had Guerreri out there 44, and if he hasn't won the faceoff, he certainly had good enough luck to keep the ball on the ground, stop the fast break, and make him take time off the clock. That was just a quick by Johnston, down in just, 7 seconds for that goal.
Just getting started here in Cicero as the upstate semifinals, or upstate finals rather, state semifinals continue right after this one. The Class A field at Fairport and Ithaca, final 2 in the upstate bracket. Now to Section 5 and Section 4. That matchup's coming up next right here on Time Warner Cable Sports. And our nightcap, the Class B battle between Irondequoit and Jamesville DeWitt. And there it is. That one's set for an 8 o'clock face-off or thereabouts. Again, live lacrosse action right here. Time Warner Cable Sports, and a very pleasant afternoon to be outside. Might get a little chilly tonight, but can't complain.
No. Just checking, by the way, the answer on that goal from Homer was 23 seconds after Penn Yan had scored. So they've answered and put themselves in a position to win or tie this game up with 138 because they're getting the face-offs. They need to put this one in, though, obviously.
All right, let's see what Coach Cottrell drew up in the huddle.
I'm right.
Zimmerman. Charges pass behind, goes over the stick of Bo Riley. The Trojans turn it over.
Now they just got to ride hard and hope for a turnover.
And Zimmerman, senior captain, on his way to the Naval Academy. Bothered on the pass there. Great defense by Penn Yan to force that errant pass. Didn't just tap it on its own. Now they almost turn, and they do turn it over. Momentarily, ground ball pickup by Masiewski is another pass, gets away, and I see flags on the field.
Got to be offside.
There is a flag on the field at midfield.
Come on! Outside! Sorry, that's not an offside. He's outside the field.
All right, let's see. Hearing offsides, but also hearing disagreement out there. It is the timeout, Penn Yan. They have picked up the flag and not made any indication. So, with 1:10 to go, I believe it's Mustangs ball. But they're not really huddling, are they?
He said there was timeout before the offside. There's some disagreement on the Homer sideline.
Well, neither team is huddling as if it's a timeout, so what is the call here?
Nobody in the box.
It is Penn Yan possession in the near left corner. 1:10 to go. Homer goalie is out. They try and double team.
Keep it in, guys.
Triple team, still can't knock the ball free. Mustangs get it out top.
Bullshit, Red.
Another double team split, ball squirts loose. Masiewski picks it up, flings it over his head. Just after timeout was called by Brian Hogan. So a little more than 40 seconds left. The Mustangs with possession now and a 2-goal lead. This close to returning to the state championship. A very intense Brian Hogan. I mean, very intense. Former Penn Yan player. How much do you think this means to him? Getting to the state title game. All right, girls lacrosse championships coming your way on Saturday. You can see them live on channel 1026 as we run the boys on the regular Time Warner Cable Sports channel and the girls on TWCS2. That's 1026. Check your local listings for the girls state championships coming your way Saturday from Cortland. It's been a valiant comeback by the Homer Trojans. Will it be enough? Twice they've been within a goal here in the second half. Now down 2, but need to get the ball back. And beat a very good goaltender, Brandon Masiewski. Right now, Dylan Yachts with the ball in his stick. As senior, scored 3 goals this afternoon.
Masiewski's had 12 saves, Mark, at this point.
7 of those in the second half, despite the onslaught. That's a dangerous pass, and it is out of bounds off Penn Yan. That's a head scratcher right there. You never know what kids are going to do. And now Homer, last gasp here. Contento ahead. Chris Brown gives it up. They've got to hurry. 22 seconds left. O'Reilly. Cleary, nowhere to go with it. Fans restless. 15 seconds. We need 2 here, guys.
Hard to get a shot, all that orange in there. You don't want to just shoot it into one of the other guys.
Johnston lost it. 5 seconds left. Shot by Brown. One last save. And time is going to run out on the Homer comeback. The Penn Yan Mustangs are your upstate champions for 2012 in Class C. And they're moving on to the state championship game Saturday, a 10-8 victory over the Homer Trojans. Dale, they gave up most of their lead, but never gave it up completely.
Yeah, the ebb and flow of this first quarter, I thought this might be a blowout in favor of Penn Yan. Homer came back and in that third quarter did a great job, but then Penn Yan, if you're going to be a champion, you got to answer those challenges. They came back and scored the 3 goals and made it 10-8. And that's how it's going to end.
So a 1-goal win in the state quarterfinals, and now a 2-goal victory here in the state semis for the Penn Yan Mustangs, who are headed back to the Class C state championship game for the first time since 2004, looking for their 2nd state title. They won it in 2001, a 9-8 win over Manhasset. And it appears that they will face Shoreham Wading River, a 2-time state champion, in the title game. And that is set for Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning. The first of 3 games down at Middletown High School.
I thought this was a well-played game. Good sportsmanship, a hard-fought game, but not many slashes. In fact, I don't recall any slashes at all. A lot of 30-second penalties, but they did a nice job of playing this game like it should be played, and a lot of excitement. And Penn Yan is going to represent upstate.
And the best boys lacrosse season in Homer history has come to an end. A big-time comeback. The Trojans trailed by 6, cut it to 1 twice in the second half, was never able to tie it up. And the Mustangs escape and advance. 10-8 the final. We'll come back and have our players of the game after this.